Hey viewers, my name's Kara. I've been really busy this past week and I haven't been online at all. So I thought I would. Okay, Wind. So I thought I would do some really quick mini topic sort of updates. So the first thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is just the overwhelming obviousness. Okay, I'm out of practice of talking to the camera, okay? I can't word right now. The overwhelming obviousness, is that a word? I can't think of the other word. Okay, it has become obvious to me that I have grown so much over the years in how I deal with little things going wrong in my life. For example, last weekend I went to see my boyfriend at his grad school, and on my way out there, it was like really dark, like midnight or something, and the off-ramp that I needed to get off the freeway was closed. And I have a GPS, thank goodness, otherwise I wouldn't have made the drive anyway. But the GPS kept taking me around to the same place where it was closed, and after a few passes of being stuck in this sketchy neighborhood in the middle of the night and not knowing where I was going to go, and my boyfriend wasn't answering his phone, I started having a panic attack. But I was able to stop myself from actually giving into that because I noticed the signs that I was starting to freak out, and I managed to calm myself down and keep myself calm and basically say that, freaking out right now isn't going to make this better. You just need to stop and think for a moment. And sure enough, when I did that, I realized a different way that I could go that the GPS wasn't even, working toward. I love GPS, but they do have some failures and some downsides. And I was able to figure it out and get back onto the right course, and then the GPS figured it out from there. And then on my way back, the on-ramp that I needed was closed to go home, but I figured that one out much more quickly because it was an issue that I had already dealt with. So I figured it out, no problem. Then the GPS fell off the windshield again, which it did to me right after I graduated last year in 2012. It kept falling off the window when I really needed it, and every time that happened, I would completely lose it. And so this time it fell off the windshield and I didn't bat an eyelash, basically just picked it up, held it in my hand, kept driving. It was no big deal. So it's just been really obvious to me that things that have caused meltdowns for me before, I'm now dealing with really easily. Now, on the way back on this trip, after all of that happened, my car stopped working in the middle of the Ohio Turnpike. And instead of freaking out, I just managed to ride with it, and I managed to get off the turnpike, and my car was wrong. There was something wrong with it for the last 35 miles that I was on the turnpike, so I was really working with it for a while there. And usually whenever people are passing me and beeping at me and all of these things, that usually makes me really nervous and I start to freak out, or I just start crying and I just completely lose it. But this time I was much more focused, and I was able to make it off the turnpike with no problem, and my car did not stop running entirely until I came to a stop at the toll booth to pay my toll. And then the workers at the toll booth moved me over to the side and said, we're here if you need anything, if you have to come inside for any reason. They probably had a bathroom, so that helped me a lot more because usually I freak out if I'm stranded somewhere with no restroom. But because I was there and I knew I was taken care of, everything was completely fine. So when the tow truck driver arrived, he said, "Have you had a bad day?" And I said, "Well, everything has gone wrong today, but I'm great." And that's when I realized that something significantly has changed in how I deal with things. And so all of this week, my car broke down, and then this week I've been dealing with that and having to get rides places and having to work out my busy schedule. I do a lot more than I ever realized, that I didn't realize until I had to find rides to get there. When I could no longer just depend on myself to get in the car and go, I realized exactly how much I'm doing, which is ridiculous. And so I've been telling people all week, yeah, my car broke down and this happened and that happened and all these different little annoying things happened, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, that's terrible," kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Everything, like I said, everything's gone wrong, but I'm fine. And people are really impressed by that. People seem to not be able to have that in their own lives. And so I've been reassuring people this is a new thing for me too, or the things that I have grown to be good at. I have not always been good at these things. I've learned over the years, I've learned from my mistakes, I've learned from past experiences, and just overall, this is not something that I was born being able to deal with, or things that I've been able to handle. It's something that I've worked on for a very long time. And in my life, whenever someone compliments something that I feel has a lot to do with my spiritual practice and the work that I've done therein, I usually say, "Oh, I've been working on this for about a decade now." And I do that because my spiritual practice has been I've been actively on this path, purposely, if you will, for over a decade now. So when I use the phrase, I've been working on this for a decade, I'm referring to this is something that has come out of my active spiritual practice. Now, in terms of the things that have happened this week, I did do some thinking about it, and I realized that a few of the things I was talking to people about, a few of the skills that I think I've developed, I realized I've really only been working on those specific things for the past year or two. They're relatively new things that I've actually been working on, and so it would be more apt to actually say, oh, I've been working on this for a couple years now. But then it's just a phrase in my head to say when I feel that something has come out of my active spiritual practice and my path, I say I've been working on it for about a decade now. But after a while, it's going to be well over a decade, and I'm not going to be able to say that anymore. So right now, when it's been 12 or 13 years, I'm still saying decade, even though that's not what it is. So anyway, that's the first mini topic that I wanted to share with you guys, and it turned out being longer than mini because I wanted to share all the details. But yeah, so that's a really cool thing. And if you're working towards things and you're just starting out, you know, years from now, it's really going to pay off. You're going to notice it. And if you've been working on things for a long time, like I have, I hope you're also enjoying the fruits of your labors. So I'm happy to be back in front of a camera. I want to update you guys more regularly. It's been really, honestly sad to me that I am so busy that I have not had time to do YouTube. Please stick around. I promise you'll be seeing all of these great things that I have planned when I have time to get to them. Thank you so much for being here. Life's great for me right now, and I hope it's great for you as well. I will see you next time, and until then, don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.